So the Black Stars of Ghana got the 3 points. At the moment, they have 19 points. So they sit atop Group I. Madagascar, Comoros are the two teams that perhaps can present a problem for the Black Stars if they are to prevent them from making it to the next stage of the World Cup. But from where I sit, I think it would take a disaster-like, event to prevent Ghana from making an appearance at the World Cup in 2026 in the US, Mexico, and Canada. So you guys get your tickets ready. But before I even get into this, don't forget to always subscribe to my YouTube channel, Devil in the Detail GH. Let's have a chat, let's keep going. And I'm just talking about a few things that I picked up, from the game. And the first one I want to talk about is the team's ability to win in very, very difficult circumstances. Let's not deceive ourselves. We had all read the commentary coming into the game. This was going to be a difficult game. Mali, a team that has significant quality coming into Accra, against the backdrop of that draw against Chad. The atmosphere was a bit negative. These were adverse circumstances, and I think under these very difficult circumstances, all one could hope for was a positive result. Not necessarily a positive performance, but a positive result. And I think in the end, the Black Stars delivered a positive result, which is what matters. Performances are indeed necessary, and a time will come where you require performances to get results. But at this particular game, what I saw was a team that was able to respond. I think if you look at the first half especially, the team looked pretty positive, although there wasn't too much confidence on the ball. But they were able to operate under very difficult circumstances and get an outcome. The second half, we saw the team sitting very deep, soaking up the pressure. Mali didn't get too many clear openings, a couple of half chances, a couple of long shots, nothing that really bothered goalkeeper Benjamin Asare. So yeah, the team indeed proved that for me. Second one I'll talk about is the kid who came in, Kosizi Boy, you can call him a kid. He's not that young, he's been around for a while, but he's had his first break. He proved he can be an option, a physical option in the middle. I think his presence allowed Thomas Partey to do a few things. I think he was a legitimately good battle for a physical powerhouse like Aliou Dieng. And African football is made up of a lot of those kind of players, particularly in the midfield. And I think Kosizibo presents an interesting option depending on the game. I don't think his overall game was that impressive. He kept his passing simple, but there were moments where he was also jittery, and I don't blame him. Again, it was a big ground for a player to make a debut. I think by and large he was pretty effective. I wouldn't say it was like a performance that was out of this world, no, but there were signs of effectiveness, and I think he has made a case for himself that perhaps the next time there is such an opening, he should be considered. But what I really want to talk about in that midfield is Caleb Rinchi, who didn't play midfield but played at right back, and again did okay. Progressive ball playing midfielders that Ghana has, who is not playing in midfield. I think a time has come where Caleb Rinchi must be allowed to stake his claim in the Black Stars midfield. If you look at what he's doing in the Danish league, I think that it will be egregious to ignore his skill set just so he can fill a position in at right back. I don't think that gets the best out of him. I don't think that gets the best out of the team. And so it's something we should look at. But that also means that a solution must be found at right back. Listening to Coach Otoado's post-match conference, he spoke about, against Chad, he spoke about the fact that height was a problem, which is why Tariq Lamptey, who is normally a right back, didn't feature. We didn't see Tariq Lamptey as well in this game. And I think that one of the biggest things we've not been able to do is to move on from the period of having good right backs in our national team. And so this is something that we need to figure out. What kind of right back are we looking for? If Tariq Lamptey is suddenly inadequate because of his physique, who is coming in? What are the options? That is something that legitimately must be discussed. So a right back is essential. Caleb Rinchi is not a right back, he's a central midfielder who needs to get back into central midfield so he can play his best football, but we need to find the right back. Gideon Mensah, Otoado also spoke about Gideon Mensah and said sometimes his overconfidence gets the better of him. I think Gideon, maybe, I don't know why he's not getting the competition, but because Otto likes him, he understands Otto's system. But I think that Gideon Mensah could be upgraded upon if the national team requires it. I think there are games where it could be a liability. Those games haven't come too much, but the coach must find a way to get a consistent tune out of Gideon Mensah, keep his concentration levels up, so that he can perform at his maximum. So perhaps a left back solution also needs to be found. If not, a left back competition for Gideon Mensah needs to be found. I think he served well. He's playing well in French football, so it is hard to ignore him. But we need to see more out of the performances that he delivers for the Black Stars of Ghana. And then, of course, Otto himself. Did he buy himself breathing room with this performance? A lot of people listening to the feedback from the game will say, yeah, he got the job done. A lot of people seem dissatisfied. Why are they dissatisfied? Because they look at the group of players we have and say, this is a team that has so much potential. Is he the person who gets the most out of the potential of this team? Or we are going to waste the potential of this team on Ochoado, and the players are going to end up getting frustrated with their inability to perhaps show what they can really do in national colours. Antoine Semenyo seems to struggle in this system. Iñaki Williams seems to struggle in the system. And there are those who have also brought up the case, although I don't agree with it, that does Iñaki Williams get ignored by his teammates when he finds himself in good positions? Is that a thing? I don't think so. But I think it all works about from team chemistry, which are things that the coach needs to work on. And those are the questions that Otto needs to answer. By and large, a good win for the Black Stars of Ghana. They need to see it through. But also legitimately, Otto needs to answer those questions. You know, am I the right man for the job?